DogPack404 lied about the MrBeast allegations. This is the biggest scandal in YouTube history. He said that MrBeast faked videos, like launching this car being faked, or this timer, or this shredder, or this wink all being fake. That's false. MrBeast hosting fake giveaways. False. MrBeast changing the Feastables formula to be even more unhealthy than Hershey's. False. Him hiring Delaware knowing he's a convicted offender. False. Same with Locoya Hill and James Warren. Those allegations? False. Even altering what he said was evidence. This is actually false. This illegal lottery livestream is actually false. MrBeast committed a war crime. False. Ava Tyson sending really bad pictures in a staff chat. False. MrBeast refusing to pay for eye surgeries. Just false. All these things are actually false and made up, and he manipulated so many on YouTube into believing that this is all real. So I'm going to talk about every single claim in this video. Let's begin. So most of the proof that I'm going to show has all been found by the YouTuber Soggy Cereal. He made a video going over the majority of these claims and debunking all of them. So it turns out DogPack pretty much lied about everything. Before we get to the really serious claims, there's just so much fake stuff that DogPack brought up. For example, DogPack claimed in his first video that a bunch of things about MrBeast videos were fake. From cars, them not actually staying on the raft, to VFX winks and timers, all this stuff apparently being fake. However, it's all real. He claimed that this shredder is CGI, but in the actual MrBeast video, it's real.
This car is digitally lifted.
He said that the car is fake and digitally lifted, even though it was actually launched 100% across the sky. The color was changed though, so that the audience doesn't get confused between the color of the second car. It was changed to blue from red. Not fake.
And the timer is clearly added in post.
The supposed fake timers that MrBeast added on to this video are false claims as well, because in DogPack's own behind the scenes photos that he sent to Soggy Cereal, the timer's right there. The 7 days stranded at sea, how there's no one on the raft.
You can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. You didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production unit.
There weren't any people on the raft for an hour apparently because of the dangerous lightning storm. So they were all moved to this barge while they waited out the deadly storm, not to a production yacht like DogPack claimed. To me, that one's really understandable. You don't want to die making a YouTube video. The heck? DogPack claimed that this wink is completely faked.
This wink was added in post.
Even though the guy from the video actually came out and said he did wink.
Seeing things on the internet that have said, I didn't wink in the MrBeast video 1 to 100. I did wink.
That's just a ridiculous claim. The pit being faked is actually real. They had to get a huge crew to dig it out. Like the train is even real in the pit. Soggy Cereal interviewed someone from there and they were like, yeah, we extended the pit in the video. Pretty much just saying they didn't want people to die because being too close to it was dangerous.
So we hired a massive excavating team to come out and dig the other 30 feet out. The reason that the hole is CG'd in the video is because of safety, right? We needed to create a back wall that the train wouldn't crash into and potentially kill people.
The boys versus girls video apparently being faked, even though in a Mr. Who's the Boss video, you can see how it's like completely monitored.
Constantly monitored. This is the kind of stuff we don't normally show. We had to have 6 or 7 people here monitoring every angle.
And DogPack said himself that random subscribers are never used, even though Soggy Cereal can actually verify there were random subscribers at this event, like random people not connected to MrBeast.
They are never random subscribers. I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend.
And as for why there were employees competing in that competition, on the Wide Awake podcast, MrBeast's girlfriend was brought in and she basically said that they had to do COVID tests, and for some reason a lot of the girls actually got COVID a lot more, and so they had to like emergency bring in some people to compete. And yeah, who else are they going to turn to? Just people who work there that they know don't have COVID.
That was an accident. On the day, everybody had to go for COVID tests, and a lot of people came, got their COVID tests, and they tested positive. So I got a call randomly from the studio and they're like, we need a female.
DogPack also falsely talked about Mac buying a house when he didn't say that in this section of the video.
Yeah, I'm sure that $800,000 is really gonna change your life. Also, he didn't just move into any old house, he moved into $1 million mansion.
He actually talked about some pretty wholesome things.
3 friends of mine, childhood friends of mine, they don't have a lot of money. I'm gonna make sure they don't have to worry about money anymore.
And so that means that DogPack pretty much lied in this tweet to Chucky about so many of the points that Chucky actually knows. He knows a lot of this stuff because he works really closely with MrBeast. So he just lied in that tweet. Now DogPack also claimed that various giveaways across MrBeast's channel were fake and people didn't get any of their prizes, which all these claims also turned out to be fake. So starting with this one, he talked about how someone apparently did not get free dog food from MrBeast, and then how suddenly the post was removed from Reddit.
Someone on Reddit posted saying that they were promised free dog food for life. 5 months later, they still haven't received their dog food.
But it actually just turned out that the person did get an email from MrBeast, it just went to spam, and so that's why they deleted it. Not terrible at all.
They are never random subscribers.
This guy actually subscribed to MrBeast and he won $1 million.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million. All I did was subscribe. I had no relation with MrBeast or anything like that.
And he even got a monthly salary from MrBeast. So the whole subscribe for $1 million thing actually happened and is real. The Samsung giveaway, there's actual emails proving that people got these phones. So any claims that he made saying these things aren't real and don't happen are completely false. What the heck? I'm so shocked that he got away with this for this long. In one of his live streams, he says that if people buy some stuff, they could be able to participate in a video for $1 million, a circle video for $1 million.
24 people, we're gonna put them in 24 different circles, $1 million on the line, have some fun.
And DogPack says that that video never happened.
This video never happened. There is no MrBeast video of 24 people in circles competing for $1 million.
But it turns out in another interview in Soggy Cereal's video,
I didn't even buy a shirt. I won one of the invitations through the comment section on YouTube. There's 24 of us, and right in the middle there's $1 million.
This guy says that not only did MrBeast get everyone out to film the video, but they had to COVID test. They did that twice, and they got paid for having to come out and not being able to do it because of COVID. So they did actually try to film the video. They just couldn't. That's not bad at all. So the fake giveaways don't seem to be fake at all. And if they were, it would be really bad, like illegal to do, 100% illegal. What else is illegal that DogPack claimed? Well, illegal lotteries. So all of these lotteries happen on the course of different live streams where MrBeast would like sign t-shirts or hoodies or something, and if you bought one of them, you would be entered into a contest where you could win money. But you didn't have to actually buy one, you could enter in for free. So in the video, Soggy Cereal talked about the 3 claims of illegal lotteries that DogPack had. And it turns out some of the footage is really doctored, and this actually shocked me to see. Because with the whole illegal lottery stuff, you had to say that there is a way to have a free entry. You don't actually have to buy a shirt or whatever to be able to enter. Except in the video description, there was a disclaimer, but DogPack said that there wasn't. He's actually faking evidence because the YouTube UI is completely faked. Soggy Cereal is like, this is not an actual UI. It's not even an old UI because this layout of all these buttons on YouTube and this upload date has never been a UI on YouTube, like, ever. And I agree with that. I've never seen that in my life. So you can enter giveaways for free, and MrBeast even said that himself in the live stream.
There's also a free entry on the site as well, or if you enter for free on the site as well, that's an option as well.
So the claim on illegal lotteries is completely false. But there are 2 other claims. He did claim that because Chandler's cousin won something, it's illegal because you can't let family enter into your giveaway. But it turns out that's only for immediate family, and cousins do not fall under immediate family. So Chandler's cousin was allowed to win. Huh. DogPack. These are like so many claims of MrBeast doing illegal shady stuff when he didn't actually do anything at all. The next one, the forged signatures, apparently, I didn't even know this, that it is legal to give consent for someone to sign it. So Tyler from MrBeast signing the shirt is actually legal. Now, I bought one of the shirts, and when I saw that clip, I felt kind of cheated because I did think it was supposed to be signed by just MrBeast, and like, it is legal. However, I do still think this point is still misleading. You know, most people thought it was going to be from MrBeast himself, but it's not illegal. So as a customer of that, this one tiny thing out of all of these claims that everyone thought to be true, I don't really care too much about this anymore, you know? This giveaway also did have a no purchase necessary to enter in the description. The final illegal lottery, Soggy Cereal did find actually to be illegal. There was no purchase necessary in the description. I personally do think that that was an accident. It was the first time he was doing it. Yes, technically it's illegal, but like, he was learning, you know? It's so hard to learn and know all the laws as a YouTuber like that when you're just starting out tapping into this stuff. YouTubers do giveaways and they think it's totally legal. It's not like it was malicious, you know? I don't think at all it was malicious. Another alleged scam that DogPack had was the moon landing. MrBeast had a thing where you could pay to send pictures to the moon, and I actually bought it too.
Later, the spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures of deceased loved ones to the moon where they would be immortalized. It fucking exploded.
Except for the rocket exploded. Now, personally, if it ended there, I'd be actually fine with that because you can't control a rocket exploding. That's in no way MrBeast's fault, you know? But apparently it's actually going to be launched again a second time, so our pictures are still going to the moon. What the heck? I did not know that. It says they have another one planned later this year. No scam, nothing shady. it's still happening. MrBeast doesn't friggin' control when a rocket goes to space. The heck, DogPack. Moving on to DogPack's claims about Feastables. In his video, his big thing was that MrBeast branded Feastables as healthy, better for you chocolate, and then he changed the formula to something even more unhealthy than Hershey's. And because the new formula tastes good, it has to be unhealthier. But this is fate.
MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per bar.
Now, I don't know how this wasn't noticed sooner, but he's comparing 2 servings of Feastables to 1 serving of Hershey's. He's comparing a 43-gram bar of Hershey's to 60 grams of Feastables, when there is a Feastables bar that's 35 grams. There's a smaller bar that's 1 serving, so it's an unfair comparison. That's literally comparing like a bowl of sugar to like 2 bowls of sugar. Like, what? So they are healthier than Hershey's, and they're actually even less calories than the original formula, which I find shocking because the new formula is way better. The original kind of sucked. Now, DogPack also talked about them removing the child slavery thing on their bars, trying to paint it as like something bad, except it's not bad at all. Soggy Cereal showed that the wording was changed to include a broader span of things that they support. So instead of it being slave-free, they put exploitation-free because, and I quote, "We've adapted our mission messaging to help us express the scope of impact we do today." They expanded it because their mission is now more than being slavery-free, it's exploitation-free. There's more that they're doing. So it's not bad at all, it's actually good. What the heck? I feel really like manipulated by DogPack, and we're not even at the very serious things that were covered in all of this. Amping up to the eye surgeries, I didn't cover this on my channel because I was waiting for more information. MrBeast did all the eye surgery stuff, and the company claimed that they didn't get the money for the 1,000 surgeries that they had. They posted a video on it, and once the video got a lot of traction, they took down the video and uploaded a new video talking about how they got paid. And so people spun this around to be like MrBeast only paid them when he got called out. But Soggy Cereal found that this isn't true. He interviewed a MrBeast employee, Dustin, and he talked about how there was just an error.
One of those organizations somewhere around the world didn't receive the compensation. We worked with that third party, and that third party, I don't know what communication error happened between them.
Because they had like a party between MrBeast company and the people doing the surgeries. There was someone in between who was supposed to manage the payment, and it just never went through. That's the TLDR on that. But it got corrected when they found out about it, and they actually did 1,800 surgeries, not just 1,000. And that was all off camera. So it's even better than we thought. What the heck? I'm just completely shocked. Now here we're gonna touch into very serious allegations. And these ones, DogPack ruined lives by making these claims. The first one is about Delaware, how MrBeast knowingly hired a offender, someone who can't go to Delaware because they're convicted of a very bad crime. So the story with this is that was on DogPack's channel that Jake Weddle said is that they hire Delaware, and they call him that, his nickname Delaware, because he can't go to the state of Delaware because of a super bad crime that he did.
Called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos. And whenever he's wearing a mask.
So the false claim is that they call him that because they know of this very bad crime. But this is easily disproven if you watch old MrBeast videos. He was first seen in a Best Buy video, and on his Best Buy shirt, it says Delaware. It has his nickname put onto the shirt while he's working at Best Buy. So they're not calling him that because of his crime. They're calling him that because it is his nickname. It's on his shirt. So he didn't knowingly hire him like that. He did hire him. That's true, MrBeast did hire this guy. But they talked about how in that video at the Best Buy, MrBeast needed employees. He was 19 at the time, and so he hired a bunch of people working there. And one of them happened to be Delaware. Now, he didn't do background checks, which yeah, he should have done, but so should have Best Buy. You know, he was working at Best Buy while being convicted of this stuff. So why does Best Buy get to be off the hook, but not MrBeast? When Best Buy is a huge brand and company, and they have the resources to do background checks versus a 19-year-old who's just starting to get big on YouTube, you know? It seems very unfair, and he didn't always wear a mask like DogPack claimed. There were so many videos where he's not wearing a mask. So it's like, DogPack spun all of this information to trick us into thinking MrBeast is some bad guy when he really just isn't. I never thought there'd come a day where we actually see all these claims reverted, and there's still more to go that are still going to be reverted in this video. For example, the James Warren claim. When this happened, I was shocked and I didn't know what to do. DogPack made a second video about MrBeast's secret CEO, James Warren, his cousin, and he falsely accused him of domestic violence.
From what I've heard of James Warren's character, how he's hit ex-girlfriends, not let them leave the house, beat his dog, defrauded people in his own ways.
He accused the wrong guy. He found someone with the same name, James Warren, and he was like, yeah, that's the guy. And I remember when this happened, I was shocked and I didn't know what to do. I was like, you can't report on that stuff. That's a very serious allegation, and you could ruin the guy's life when he didn't actually do anything bad. He never beat his dog or girlfriend or anything, but DogPack claimed all this false stuff. Very, very bad. Like, that's insane. That already was early signs of like, he shouldn't be reporting on stuff he doesn't know. And I said that in my original video, that this is very bad to make a false claim about. Next up is Locoya Hill, who also works at MrBeast, and DogPack said how there was a bunch of like SA stuff with his assistant behind the scene.
They say, yes, Locoya Hill, the current COO. In 2021, he had an assistant named victim's name. I heard Locoya acted very inappropriately with victim.
And so Soggy Cereal interviewed Kara, the hiring manager at MrBeast, and she talked about how she would have like third parties look into these allegations, and the results of that were pretty underwhelming.
Hire a third party. And he's like, yeah, I don't necessarily want him to be fired, but like, I don't want to be around him. I don't want to see him. Like, it's just really uncomfortable for me.
He would have been fired if there was anything bad found, but he wasn't fired. And the assistant just wanted to move to a different department and didn't want Locoya fired. So if the assistant doesn't want him fired, obviously nothing bad happened. Like, what the heck? It's just all these things that everyone thought is real is just turning out to be false and baseless. And DogPack really tricked everyone. It's actually insane. Like, this is one of the biggest YouTube scandals ever. Moving on to probably one of the worst claims here. This all goes back to Ava Tyson, who has been removed from MrBeast. Jimmy did say in his response he couldn't talk about anything, right? Because he had an ongoing investigation for months looking into things at the company, and the results were that nothing was really found. Like, maybe things here and there, and they were all dealt with. So the report about alleged CP being sent by Ava Tyson in the group chat by DogPack and Rosanna Pansino, they made this claim in their video. They branded it like that. They claimed it was a 13-year-old when it wasn't. It was actually someone who was 18, Ivanka Trump at 18. So I thought it was crazy to report on that, and I said that in my follow-up video, that was just insane. I had to update the title. I had to make sure people knew that this claim was just false. Even still though, DogPack reverse image searched the image, and that meant that he had to download it thinking it was illegal. So that would have been illegal stuff that DogPack would have done. You can't download that stuff. However, the group chat that they said was a work chat was not a work chat.
This isn't a work chat. This is just a small snapshot of a company chat.
It was a meme chat, not safe for work meme chat, which you can see in the screenshots. Ava is talking about how this is a meme chat, not a work chat, a meme chat. And that was seen at the start of the group chat. It was later changed to a work chat, but when that happened, people were kicked from it, and then nobody used it. Even MrBeast himself saw no use for it in this screenshot. And yeah, John Smith is confirmed to be Jimmy. Now, in the context of Ava sending that material, thinking that it was bad and not legal, yes, it is bad for Ava to send that stuff, but it was actually a link of a Twitter thread exposing people who are into that kind of material, and the picture is actually in the thread on Twitter. So she was linking to that. And Soggy Cereal brought up a good point that says if MrBeast saw that and saw the messages around it, which were of Ava talking about how gross it is and how the thread is terrible and stuff, right? That MrBeast would see that and think that his friend is just like passionately upset about the information that is being shared. Which I do agree with. Yes, it is bad to send that thinking that's what it is. But in the context of that, yeah, like I would think the same thing too, you know? And again, MrBeast didn't send that himself. MrBeast is not on the hook. Ava's been proven to be like a creep, basically. And she's been out of the company. She's gone. She's been fired. Now, yeah, there were other bad memes in the group chat, but in that point in time, it's pretty believable for people to think it's just, you know, Ava's dark sense of humor and not actually something she likes, you know? Even the anime that Jimmy said Ava would enjoy.
It says, I bet Chris would love this show. Why?
What's this show about?
Well, it's interesting that you ask, because this show is about a romantic relationship between a 26-year-old salaryman and a 17-year-old high school runaway.
In the video, DogPack and Rosanna reported that it was a show about a 17-year-old and a 26-year-old having a relationship, when it's not true at all. Apparently the anime community was really annoyed at that because it's actually a pretty wholesome show about a 26-year-old saving this young girl from a pretty bad lifestyle, so it's actually not bad at all. But they just spin it to make it seem like it is. And Rosanna Pansino, I do think is more innocent here. I think that DogPack is kind of really manipulative, especially to everyone else on the internet, but especially her. He kind of used her platform to spread all of this, you know? It's really crazy that this is all going on, and MrBeast is actually just innocent the whole time. Moving on next to something Rosanna actually talks about a lot, Beast games. So we all know there's like an ongoing lawsuit about Beast Games, so I can't imagine a lot of info was allowed to get out because of that. But there's actually a video by YouTuber Stucky, and in their video, Beast Games lawsuit is a joke. They actually talk about how the lawsuit is like, the people involved are trying to claim that they're MrBeast employees as contestants, like because they're a contestant, they're an employee, when they're obviously not.
Employees. You can call them whatever you want to, but if they meet the definition of an employee, it doesn't matter what you title them. Our argument is that they are employees under California law.
They want minimum wage for competing in a show, you know, for a show where you will win money potentially. That's not an employee, that's a contestant. Now, as for the alleged SA, they say that they witnessed something. So Stucky brought up a good point that they should sue the guy who did it and not MrBeast, right? Well, in the lawsuit, they claim that MrBeast laid the groundwork for this to happen because of the whole production document where they talk about no, not meaning no, but that's actually like false. They're basing that off of a false document. The document here, yeah, it was written by MrBeast, but Kara, MrBeast's hiring manager, literally says in the interview that she wrote that part, and as a girl, she wrote that part.
No doesn't mean no, and it has a pretty negative connotation. As a woman working at Beast, what was your reaction?
Yeah, so I actually wrote that part. Like, yeah.
And it wasn't meant to be seen as like some sort of, yeah, let's violate consent thing. It was just more meant to be like, I guess like a tactic of being determined to actually get things done. Which personally, yeah, it is good to have conviction and strive for what you want. Obviously, there are boundaries you shouldn't cross, right? But she's saying that that quote was really used out of context. Now, the other things about like people not being fed enough or on time or even getting their medication on time. Yes, things happen, and yeah, that's not excusable. It should be taken care of, but the contestants were free to leave at any time. It says that they're free to leave at any time, but I guess they just want to compete, so they're gonna stay. But it's totally optional, and that brings me to the whole war crime claim. So in DogPack's second video, they went over Jake Weddle's experience. He was like a former MrBeast employee, and he was in a MrBeast video where he had really bad treatment. He was pretty much going insane because the lights were on the whole time. He was in solitary confinement, basically. The conditions being there were really rough, but he was allowed to leave at any time. Now, his account of that story is still disturbing on its own, and MrBeast actually reached out to him and paid him a lot of money because he was like, yeah, I'm sorry, that's messed up. But there was a claim made in that video about it being a war crime to leave the lights on.
He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
Yes, it was really rough, but for it to be a war crime, he has to be held captive. He has to be a prisoner when he was not at all. He was allowed to leave at any time. His story is still really rough to hear, and it is really sad, but it's not a war crime, and the joke was apparently spun really weirdly. It was actually Dustin who said that it was a joke and not meant to be taken seriously, but DogPack and Weddle, they kind of like spun it to be not a joke, you know?
And I made that joke. It's a war crime. I didn't think it was going to turn into a bunch of thumbnails and titles on YouTube. It was definitely framed a little more maliciously in the video.
They didn't insinuate it as a joke in the video.
Even though Jake Weddle actually admits that it was a joke in a video.
The guy who did the war crime joke.
So I don't know, that's really disturbing. Jake Weddle also did this in a video where he used, he said he got a recording of MrBeast kind of talking bad about him, but then it turns out to be AI.
That's right. I got that sent to me, and you know what? That was AI.
And he clarifies that later in the video. It seems like clickbait, trying to get people angry for really reasons that don't matter and are fake. Now, the final thing on the list is the crypto stuff. I went to CoffeeZilla's channel and he has a video investigating MrBeast's crypto activities. So in recent events, Look On Chain posted a thread going over various coins that MrBeast is apparently involved in. And so the allegations are that MrBeast basically did insider trading and like rug pulls, you know, crypto scams. So there were two coins that KSI promoted, but MrBeast can be linked to, so those two don't really matter because there's no proof about it. There was a coin called Super, and MrBeast did associate with them in 2 tweets where he was talking about Super. So that one's a little questionable, yeah. However, CoffeeZilla reached out to MrBeast and he got back a statement talking about how the investments are not owned or managed by Jimmy. They do it themselves. Like, he has someone representing him to do it. MrBeast did talk on a podcast about like trading stuff with Gary Vee. Now, CoffeeZilla talks about Jason Williams, who manages MrBeast crypto stuff. And I trust Coffee in saying that, like, it's hard to say that Jimmy didn't know what was going on, like, at least fully. Like, looking at his statements in the podcast and stuff, it does seem like he knows a little, but it's not super definitive what he knows and what he doesn't. He does talk about how Team C's partnered with, like, a charity coin for 2 months, and that they sold some stuff only after a month, but Coffee doesn't think it was a plan to pump and dump the charity. So, like, it is a little bad, but it's not super terrible, you know? I personally don't think Jimmy is trying to do anything malicious here at all, but that's just like my personal take. With XCAD, they agreed to not dump, but apparently they did, and the founder of XCAD, Oliver, messaged MrBeast and thought that his team is trying to ruin MrBeast's reputation. And so CoffeeZilla actually thinks that his company managing all this crypto stuff is actually trying to use Jimmy for money and ruin his reputation. And I kind of feel the same too. The only thing I don't agree with is associating with Logan Paul. That's a pretty bad move. Logan had his whole crypto zoo thing, and after saying he'd pay back the victims, he's now suing CoffeeZilla. It's a pretty bad look for MrBeast to team up with him. I don't think he should do that. The only thing I can think about that hasn't actually been talked about is the charity stuff being fake, where the hospital was CGI'd, but I feel like because DogPack has made so much stuff up, like 99% of these claims just completely baseless. I feel like for claims like this, there's a lot more to it that we just haven't heard about. There's no point believing DogPack when he's just crying wolf the whole time. He's just spreading complete misinformation. It's actually insane. I'm just shocked that he got away with it this long. Like, wow. Props to you, Soggy Cereal, for doing all this. This is like really hardcore detective work. Now, DogPack's video has 12 million views, but he only worked at MrBeast's company for 20 days. That's not a lot of time to get all your information. In all these interviews, employees think that he's weird and uncomfortable to be around. He just wanted an Apple Vision Pro. Like, what the heck?
Most of the time he was there was consumed in trying to get an Apple Vision Pro.
DogPack even had a video idea for a Bob's video, even though he claims that MrBeast video are for kids, so why'd you recommend that? You know, it's weird. It's hypocritical. DogPack's manager, Hoodie, even talked about how he wanted Jimmy to try every drug.
I was getting pitched ideas like Jimmy trying every drug in existence. It goes back to like the, no, I'm joking.
Every drug as a video idea, and then claimed it was a joke when it wasn't well received. Like, what the heck? So all of these DogPack claims throughout the last 2 or 3 months are just like 99% of it is just completely false and baseless. And it's shocking to see this only come out now after MrBeast has been dragged through the mud by so many creators. And like, I made videos on this too. I try to be unbiased and impartial and just report like what's been said, but it's just crazy that this has gone on so long and DogPack was able to manipulate so many people. For anyone who's watched my older videos, they can tell that MrBeast has always been like an inspiration to me, you know? Because like me, he always wanted to be a YouTuber, and I really love people who love YouTube. I've been on YouTube for over 10 years. And so yeah, I really like MrBeast. So I'm really relieved that all of this has come out. The truth has come out, because to me it never really felt good to report on these allegations, but I had to as a reporter of just YouTube news. Deep down, my intuition in the last few months has still told me that MrBeast is not a bad person. He's just someone who got caught up with things and made a few mistakes and had friendships with just wrong people. But what human hasn't done that, you know? My gut has never been wrong when it comes to judging people, so I'm really glad that this is ending and wrapping up and it's over. I know what it's like to be dragged into the mud because of your friends, like friends that you don't have control over. It's really tough, and it's even tougher when you got the entire world watching you like MrBeast does, because at the end of the day, he's a guy who's trying to deal with like all this fame that came up. So with my old videos on this topic, I'm gonna unlist them all. I won't remove them, because if people still want to reference them and see what I said, you can go watch them. But I don't feel right having them up knowing all these claims are false and fake by DogPack. I'm just happy this is over. Like, MrBeast is actually a good guy. Damn. I'm just so glad it's over. MrBeast's record is pretty much cleared. If you want to see credits to everything I talked about in this video, link in description. Check out this and fly on.